Hello, you beautiful, beautiful people, and welcome back. Today's episode, I'm diving into all things letting go, the theme of ending, and what magic there is in surrendering to the change that is inevitable in our lives, especially in the season that we're in right now. So, being a part of nature, I believe it is so important that we learn to flow with the cycles of nature. And we are just stepping into the season of fall. We are in the energy of a Libra, which is all about balance. And if balance teaches us anything, it's that we have to let go in order to keep the scale balanced. If we're holding on to things forever and ever and ever, that scale is always going to be tipped. So, Libra being the start of the season of fall, I think is just so beautiful in following that energy and the flow. Summer is so busy, it's so energetic. We're always doing a million things. We're traveling, we're outside, we're soaking up all this joyous, bright energy that we get from the summer months, and now we're going into the fall. It's time to slow down, it's time to let go. The trees are turning the most beautiful colors, and the leaves are falling off the trees, and it's got to be one of the most beautiful times of year. I mean, it's hard because there's beauty in every season, but fall, there's something so magical about it. And I think it's really there to remind us of how truly beautiful it is to let things go, because change is inevitable. It's a part of life, and it's such a beautiful part of life. And I believe that if we can learn to work with the energy of change, to surrender to the change, and learn how to let go and allow the universe to be a guide instead of trying to force our way through these difficult times, and it ends up creating roadblocks for us. Things become a lot more difficult and heavy and hard to navigate when we're trying to fight the universe every step of the way. But if we're not growing and changing within our lives, within the seasons, we're not with this flow of nature, like we're just creating suffering in our own lives. And so knowing this, A, gives us so much power, but B, also can just be such a wonderful part of honoring nature and all that it is for us. So, yeah, we're going to dive in. So, I don't know if you guys know, but we just recently had an eclipse, and this energy cosmically was very much a push for change. And the job of this eclipse was to illuminate the energy of what is no longer aligned with us or serving us. And over the last while this eclipse was going on, I noticed from just following people on social media and within my own life, having conversations with people, this can go one of two ways for people. So I'm going to say both of the ways and just maybe let whatever way resonate with you that resonates with you be a sign to know of what was happening for you, because I mean, it can be a bit of both, but there are two things that happen to people when you're in this energy. One is some people surrender. They are flowing with ease. They're trusting the process, they're riding the waves, they're laying in the water, floating, letting the current guide them where they need to go. Okay? But then we have other people who are resisting. They're clinging on to what's leaving, they're holding on for dear life. They don't want to let go of the life raft because they think they're going to drown, and it's just creating more suffering within their lives. So it's been one of two ways from what I've really witnessed in other people and within myself. I saw people posting so much about how this energy was so chaotic and all this stuff was happening. And I was just sitting there like, I'm having a great time. Like, yes, don't get me wrong, the energy was dense, it's intense. There's a lot of things that are coming up, but I already was luckily, already in the process of letting go and closing chapters and moving into a different phase of my life that I kind of just got to sit back and watch and surrender and flow with the waves. And I just like rode this eclipse. I was feeling so good. And I just think like this is such a metaphor for our lives, and especially in this season of fall and letting go, because again, it's inevitable. Nature just is here to show us that these things are going to happen to us, whether we like it or not. Okay. It's a part of nature, it's a part of who we are. We don't get to choose whether or not change comes, but we only get to choose to resist or surrender. So ask yourself these questions when you notice things in your life are changing, when things in your life are coming to an end, whether it be friendships or relationships or a job or maybe you want to move to a new location, all these things. Like we can't stay in the exact same place in the exact same phase with the exact same people in our life forever. It just A, we would get so bored. B, we would not grow. We would not be moving on to bigger and better things. You'll be staying stuck in this place for so long. It's like you just can't. As a human, we are far more designed to want to grow and explore and change and adapt than we are to just stand still forever. And change and growth can be difficult. It can be heavy. It can be a lot because so much of it is our ego is scared because it's the unknown. We don't know what's coming. We have no guarantee of things being a certain way. You have to learn to have this absolute trust and faith in the universe and its magic, and know deep down that it's on your side and it wants you to have all these wonderful things. Because if it's not clearing space for something new, what else is it doing? And it's if we're open and willing, like so much magic can happen in our lives so quickly. So lately, I've been doing so much reflecting within my own life because I just left home. I quit my jobs. I packed up everything that I need into 2 suitcases and I am out of there. I have no idea what is next for me. And part of it is, yeah, scary because there's no guarantee of anything. And maybe what I'm doing is absolutely crazy, but a bigger part of my soul knows that this is what's next for me. And I just had so many synchronicities in this last year that I have no doubt in my mind that I'm on the way to exactly where I need to go. I also found out that I'm going to do ayahuasca again for the fourth time at the end of October with my dad. So I am so, so, so excited for that. And it's been almost exactly a year since I went last time. So I've been doing so much reflecting, thinking back to like my life 1 year ago and how much stuff has changed since then, what my life looks like now compared to then, all the things that I asked for that came up for me last time I sat with Mother Ayahuasca, and how much of that is now my reality, or my reality is shifting into that as we speak. I met my boyfriend there. It's just like so much has happened and I'm so grateful, and I'm very excited to see what's going to come up when I sit with her again this time. And I think it's so special that I get to be in this space with my dad because I love him so much, and we don't get to see each other a lot because we don't live near each other. And especially now that I'm going traveling for a while, it's going to be even less of me seeing him, so I get to soak that in with him for a few days. But last year when I was at ayahuasca, I had this vision of like, well, so much of my life changing. I had felt already at that point like my friends growing distance from me. I knew I had to set strong boundaries with them when I came back, and I did, and it wasn't always easy, but it became easier because I was creating space for what I felt was important for myself in my life at the time. And unfortunately, when you grow, it's difficult because you're going to outgrow people, jobs, family members sometimes. you're going to outgrow places, situations, all these things. And it's hard because, like, I have nothing against the people that have been in my life up to this point. I love each and every one of them. I'm so thankful for every role that they played in my journey. But I know it's time for me to go and do something else. And they're on their own journey. But if somebody's not willing to grow with you, if somebody's not willing to do the work for themselves, to dive into this kind of stuff on their own, like, you're going to outgrow people. And that doesn't mean that you don't love them and appreciate every bit of who they are and what they did for you in your life. But it does mean that you have to love them from afar. Because again, that's the letting go. That's if we're going to hold on to those relationships, to those friendships, to those careers, to whatever it is, if we're holding on, we can't move, we can't grow, we can't discover new things about ourselves. So it's like, to all the people that have been such a big part of my life this far, like, I'm so grateful. But I'm also very excited to let go and give myself space to discover what's next for me. And unfortunately, that means loving people from afar, and it's difficult to say goodbye, but I do feel like a big weight is come off my shoulders, and I'm excited to see what is next. But that was part of my ayahuasca journey last year. It was like I watched myself in slow motion. Since then until now, everything of this has been happening, and it's like I feel almost as if I've been watching myself from above and this movie's been playing in slow motion. Because time's a difficult thing for humans, especially if you're somebody who spends a lot of time in the spiritual realms doing psychedelics, things like that, because time is such an illusion. And in my mind, in my brain, in my, I don't know, spiritual self, time moves so much differently than it does in the human experience. So I saw all these changes and I knew what was coming, but I had to let the human side of it play out. I had to finish my job for the year. My sister just had a baby and I had to wait until the baby was born so that I could be there for her and the baby and get to meet the baby before I go on this adventure. All these things guided my timeline of how this was going to play out for myself. But after I went to ayahuasca last year, I just had all these things that I decided that I wanted. I said to myself, like, I want to go traveling. I looked into going to Europe, but it didn't quite feel aligned. So I decided to go to Bali, which is where I've been trying to go for literally ever. And now I'm going. My plane leaves in almost exactly 1 month from, probably 1 month from the day you'll be hearing this. And I can't wait. I'm so excited. And it's like I said to myself, like, if I'm meant to go, like, everything will just work out for me. And oh my god, did it ever. Like, I had to sell my car because I'm like, I'm not dealing with that when I'm gone. I don't know how long I'm going to be gone for. It's just a vehicle. I can get a new one, but I needed it for work up until literally right before I left. So I that was one of the only things that was really stressing me out, because I'm like, what if I can't sell it in time? What if I don't get enough money for it? All these things. My mom bought it from me for exactly the amount of money I wanted for it. And it just was so effortless. I'm like, why did I even stress over this? Because it's just sorting itself out. And it's like all these things, like, my boyfriend came to pick me up and we were waiting for my sister to have her baby, and the day he got there, the next morning her water broke. And it was just like every little thing has been so, I feel like, divine timing, that I am so confident that I'm on the right path. But this whole thing could have been so difficult for me because I could have been fighting myself every step of the way, wondering if I'm worthy of, wondering if this is meant for me, thinking that I should just stick to what I know. But again, so I've just felt like I was shedding this huge layer of skin, you're growing so much bigger, and then you have to let this skin go like you're a snake. And what a symbol for what is going on, not just in my life, but everybody's life, because it's the year of the snake. Okay, this year, 2025, is the year of the snake. And the snake represents endings, transformations, cycles closing. It's here to push us to shed that skin, where it's pushing us to grow so much that we have to let go of the skin that no longer fits us. The things that no longer serve us, they gotta go. And it's also the year of 2025, which is another. The year of 9 also represents the endings, the closings. It's the end of the cycle because in numerology, the year goes from 1 to 9 and then it cycles back to 1. So next year, 2026, is the year of 1, it's the year of new beginnings. But this year, the year of 9, has been forcing us so strongly to let go because not only that, but we're in this beginning of the age of Aquarius, which is a whole nother rabbit hole to go down. But the whole consciousness is shifting, and we are here to like make this world a better place. And the only way we're going to do that is by letting go of all these things that no longer serve us: people, places, jobs, careers, also mindsets and habits and things, physical things. I sold so many things and donated so many things that I feel like I barely have any earthly possessions anymore, but my God, does it feel good. And like we hold on to things. It's like, oh my God, I can't give this away. Somebody gave this to me as a present 5 years ago. Okay, well, that person probably doesn't even remember that they gave me a present 5 years ago and it's just sitting in this box collecting dust. Like, why don't I A, sell it, or B, donate it to somebody that maybe it's going to have meaning for? Maybe they need it. Maybe it can go to somebody and bring them joy. But I can't hold on to all these physical things, especially if I'm trying to go traveling and live out of a suitcase. I can't bring my whole house with me everywhere I go. So looking back from what I've learned in the last year and what ayahuasca taught me, like all this stuff has come true. The end is also the beginning. There's so many things starting for me, but only because I've allowed all these doors to close. I've allowed these chapters to end. Is it easy? No. Like I had to go and say goodbye to all my little students that I've taught for years and I had such an emotional attachment to. And I'm going to miss them. I'm going to miss teaching them. I'm going to miss all their hugs and all the laughs and all the dancing we did together. And maybe one day down the road, if I'm meant to do that again, I will. But I just think that this is a sign that it's something new for me. And I'm always going to be there to cheer them on, whether it be from a near or a far. I'm going to go back for the recital and get to watch all of the art they created and worked so hard on all year. But I'm just excited to see what's next. What is going to happen in my year 1 next year? And I just think that it's so interesting. So many people are being asked to release careers, relationships, friendships, identities, habits, all these things within our lives. And just know, if you're feeling a lot of resistance within things within your life, you are not alone. It is a collective thing we are all going through. And it's also not punishment, it's evolution. It might feel difficult, it might feel uncomfortable, it might be heavy, but again, it's not to punish you and make you think that you're doing something wrong. It's to push you to grow in a different direction, in a new way, in a way that's going to help you be stronger and more confident and more aligned with your soul. Because I think that this is a really big problem with what's going on, you know, all within our own lives, but in the world as a collective, is like there's all these systems and structures in place that no longer serve humanity and they're starting to fall apart. For individuals, it's going to feel like chaos in your life. Maybe you don't feel like fulfilled in what you're doing for work. Maybe you're in a loveless relationship. Maybe you have friendships that no longer feel like they are supporting you, aligned with you, whatever that is. In order for you to notice that it's time for something new, like you have to realize the chaos or hurt or whatever, the lack of fulfillment and joy that are in these things. But as soon as you see that, as soon as you can realize it's because it's time to let go and move on to something else, and you can choose to work with that energy, so much freaking magic can happen in your life. Like in a year, my life looks completely different, like in almost every aspect. And I'm so grateful. And yeah, it was a long year. A lot of it went in slow motion and I was willing to let go and working with the universe, but it's like I could have been ready in 3 months. I could have been ready in 3 minutes once I made that decision, but I have to live out all the humanness of it as well. So, some tools, some tricks and tips and advice that I have for you, because again, you're not the only one. I know I'm not the only one. But I think together we can make such a big difference within our own lives, but within the world together. And I mean, as much as we can do for ourselves to make our lives a better place, to make our minds a better place to exist in, it's going to ripple effect and create that change within the world as well. So, journal about what you're holding on to and really dive deep into that and look at what is it that you need to let go? Okay, we're in the season of letting go. We have another 3 months of the year until we're in an energetic year of one. And in these months, and in this energy that we're in right now, it's going to aid you in letting go. But the first thing that you have to do is identify what it is that you have to let go of. What is it that you're holding on to? What is it that's heavy? What is holding you back? What is dragging you down? What's making you feel like you're drowning instead of being in this flow? So ask yourself that, journal about it, meditate on it, think about it, and just honor whatever it is that comes up. And if it has to do with cutting somebody out of your life, quitting a job, moving to a new city, whatever it is, I know it's big and I know it's scary, but what's more scary is not doing anything and waking up next year and being in the exact same place and going in circles, because I've been there. I spent so many years wanting this big change and being so afraid of it that I would wake up every day and feel like I was going in circles and circles and circles, still not knowing what I wanted to do for my career fully, not feeling like I had people who really understood me for me, and all these things until I was like, I can't do this anymore. I need to go somewhere. I bought the ticket. I packed my bags. I'm on my way. And I feel like looking back, yes, you're spiraling. You're in circles and these circles are making you grow, and sometimes you have to do 50 circles before you realize what's going on and you can take a step away, but recognize these things. What makes you feel heavy? What's holding you back? Are there people in your life that aren't in alignment with your belief systems anymore? That's okay. I love them from afar. And do some rituals, okay, because we can work with nature and this can help us. I love burning letters. I find it such a powerful way for releasing. So, writing anything down on a piece of paper that you need to let go of and burning it under the moon, especially on a full moon. Burn it, get rid of it, let go of it, and just feel that release. Doing things like breath work and dancing, also any kind of just physical movement helps us to move energy in our bodies and it can help us to feel better. Practice daily affirmations such as I am safe to release. Tell yourself that you are worthy of whatever life it is that you desire. Tell yourself that you're working with the universe to create your life, that you are in the state of flow and you are letting things fall away from you. Any sort of affirmation like that. And practice self compassion in the process, because letting go doesn't always feel graceful, and that's okay. It takes practice, it takes recognition. It's a mess, it's messy, it's the unknown and it can be scary, but trying to do it with as much grace and ease as possible in the long run is going to be your best friend, and you're going to feel so much better because what's waiting for you on the other side is so beautiful. And I feel like right now, I was journaling about this morning because yesterday I just had this one moment of an overflow of emotion of, okay, well, now what's next? Because I feel like I'm standing in this hallway and I just closed all the doors. now I'm looking around, I'm like, all these doors are closed and I can open any of these new doors, or maybe 30 new doors are going to appear in front of me, and then you have the pressure of like, how do I know which one? What if I open this door and it's not what I want? Well, then guess what? You can close that door and open a new one. But to stand in that hallway when all these doors are closed, it can feel overwhelming. And if somebody asks you, what do you want to do? What's next for you? And you want to think that you have all of these answers, but deep down, maybe you don't. And I don't. I don't know. I just know that I have to be open to the doors that appear in front of me and be brave enough to take a step through that door and see if it's what I need, to see if it feels in alignment with me. But I know now that I have these tools to A, recognize when it's not, and B, move on to something else when I realize that it's not. And I think that is just so, so powerful. And I think if we can learn that and be in the absolute magic of surrendering to the universe and being open to what could be possible, because we're co-creating our life with the universe. If you don't feel called to go traveling, that's not going to be something that comes up and you feel called to do, because that's not what you're meant to do. But if you feel so called to go traveling and you want to discover and you want to do all this exploring, then be open to the opportunities that present themselves in order for you to be able to go and do that. Because there is magic all around us if we're open to it. The universe is going to help us if we're open to it. So honor the endings, honor the letting go of this year, of all these cycles that we've been in, because when we let go of all those things, it makes space for the magic to flow into our lives. Things will start making sense. Things will start showing up in your life that you've asked for, that you're trying to manifest. But when we resist, we're blocking the very blessings that are waiting for us. And I think that's what's leaving. And I think it's important that we trust that whatever is leaving us is making space for what is more aligned for our souls. Each and every one of us have a reason as to why we are here. Our souls came here for a reason. Our souls feel called to do things for a reason. We have interests and hobbies and goals and all this motivation towards something that we so desire for a reason, and trusting that we're not crazy, that we wouldn't want these things if they didn't want us. To know that the universe is completely here to support us if we allow it, but we can't have space for all the things that we want if we're holding on to all the things that don't work for us anymore. And maybe they did work for you at one time, but you're growing. You're shedding that skin. So we have to let go of all the things in order to be the new version that we are of ourselves. So let the season of fall be there to remind you of A, how beautiful it is to let go. Look out your window. Look at all the beautiful orange leaves and the colors and the crisp air and the coziness and the jackets and the scarves and the toques that are coming. And just know that everything's going to work out for you. If you believe you are worthy, the universe believes that you are worthy, and close all the doors you need to close so that you can walk through the magical ones on the other side of the hallway. Because I promise you, so much good can come out of that. And I know you deserve it. I know I deserve it. I know we all deserve to live this life that is so magical that you can't even explain how good it's about to get for you. So honor the season, learn to let go, learn to be in the flow, and just remember that endings are inevitable, but suffering is optional. You can choose to surrender with love and trust, and that's when the magic really unfolds. Thank you so much for listening, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.